All right, hello and welcome to today's class. Now, in today's class, okay, I'm going to be showing you why price ignores your order blocks. All right, sometimes some traders get to possibly, okay, for instance, they get to highlight an order block. Okay, let me just give you a live chat illustration. You get to highlight your order block zone. You're waiting for price to tap into your order block, okay, for instance, and then just like it happened here, you get to see that price will go very close to your order block, but at the end of the day, price will end up, okay, ignoring your order block and not activating your entry. Because I believe that in such a scenario like this one, a lot of traders are going to be shorting the market from here. All right, they're going to be putting their entry here, their stop loss will usually be above the high, and then their take profit will be at wherever they wanted to be. Okay, now but look at what happened here. Okay, price came very close to the entry, but then it ignored it and trigger the entry. So I'm going to be telling you why this happens and how you can get to avoid this. So if this is your first time watching my video, my name is 𝗕𝗿𝗄𝗃, and do well to check out my video so you can actually watch and learn a lot of things also. Okay, so straight to the topic for today. All right, so now why do price go close to an order block so many times but then end up ignoring the other block? Now this is the reason. Another block is not the only point of interest that price respects. Okay, now we have a number of points of interest, a number of entry points whereby price can also respect apart from another block. Another block is just one of them. It's just like, they say there are many ways to catch a rat. Possibly if you want to use a trap is just one way to catch a rat. Okay, so if you want to take entries on your trade, there are many ways to do that. Using another block is just one of them. All right, now we have other entry methods. Okay, let me just say number one is using other blocks. I'm still using other blocks. Okay, using other blocks. Now we also have fair value gaps, okay, FVGs, which can also be referred to as what? Imbalances. If you check my YouTube video, you're going to see I've made lots of videos on imbalances. Okay, now the next another type of entry we have is when you get to use inducements. Okay, when you get to use inducements or liquidity entries. I also have a video on this on my YouTube channel. All right, so if this is your first time and you want to learn about these things, check out my YouTube channel, watch the videos there, you're going to see these things. All right, and then another one we also have is what? The breaker block. We have breaker block entries too. Now I'm gonna stop here with this. Okay, now these are 4 types of entries that you can actually use. So another block is not just the only kind of entry. Okay, so now the question here is, why will you get to see price go very close to another block and not trigger it? Now this is because all these entry types of entries you see here, all of them are in what? Hierarchy. Okay, they are in ranks. They are not just there. There is a very, okay, for instance, all right, you can get to see that sometimes, okay, on a particular setup, you get to find out that price will print out all these entry models for you. Now, how do you know which one price will expect? Now, there are hierarchies for this. In this video, I'm not going to be talking about the hierarchy. I'm going to be talking about the hierarchies in the next video. But then if you check most of the time, okay, you get to find out that an order block usually will come with an imbalance. An order block usually will come with an imbalance. Okay, now what is an imbalance? Basically inefficiency in price. Okay, an imbalance is inefficiency in price. If you have zero knowledge about imbalance, you might need to refer back to the imbalance video I made on my YouTube channel. You need to refer back to the imbalance video I made on my YouTube channel. Check out. I'm going to tag it somewhere around. Maybe just check the top right corner, top left corner. You're going to see the video there. All right. Now, why will price ignore the order block? In most cases, you're going to see that this order block usually comes with what? A fair value gap. Now, this is the fair value gap. Now, this is the fair value gap. Now, this fair value gap is also a kind of entry. It's also a kind of entry. Now you can also get to sell from this fair value gap here. All right, with your stop loss above the high. You can actually do this. So if price comes here and finds out that this fair value gap already exists, and as a matter of fact, earlier on I spoke about hierarchy and the ranks in all this point of interest stuffs. Okay, now a fair value gap comes before an order block. What I'm trying to say is that if you have an order block above and a fair value gap below the order block just before you get to reach the order block, and you have price retracing, price will most likely reverse from the fair value gap and will not even bother touching the order block at first. Okay, so that is simply what happened here. Price was coming back up. You can see the very crazy momentum price was coming with. Very crazy momentum. Now, assuming there was no fair value gap here, price will definitely have tapped into this order block. So now there are two types of traders in such a setup. Now, the first type of trader is the trader that is going to put his entry. At what? The fair value gap here. At the order block, I mean. And then the second type of trader is the trader who's going to put his entry at what? The fair value gap. Now, the order block and entry trader missed this trade, but the fair value gap trader caught this trade. So the thing here is that whenever you have a fair value gap and you have an order block above it, you must understand that price will most likely respect the fair value gap instead of the order block. I understand you might want to say, okay, what if the fair value gap happens to be too big? Now, if the fair value gap is very big or very large and it will cause you to have an extended stop loss, what you want to do is you want to use the mean threshold of this fair value gap. Now, what is the mean threshold? It's basically 50%. You can use your gang box or you can use the Fibonacci retracement tool. All right, to measure 50%. All you have to do is draw your gang box from the opening of from the beginning of the fair value gap to the end. All right, you extend it. Now this is my 50%. So assuming you refined it using this, you'll have gotten your entry here, and your stop loss would have reduced also. And what happened here? You have got a sniper entry. This is premium knowledge. So now, if you actually get to have a fair value gap or whatever, an inefficiency and imbalance that is too wide or too big, use the mean threshold. Use your fair value gap, use your Fibonacci retracement tool, or your gang box. Measure 50% of it. Put your entry at 50% of the imbalance, your stop loss, external range, and then boom, you will actually be on a more better side of the market, rather than someone who's trying to catch a sniper move and then misses out on the whole trade. Come on, guys, look at this. This is a lot of pips. This is a lot of pips. This is a lot of pips. Now, using this entry I gave you, all right, just what I taught you now, if you did that, you're actually going to be having a 10 reach to reward ratio trade on this. So I have explained why price will most times ignore your order blocks. It's simply because majority of the time there is a fair value gap. Sometimes it might not be a fair value gap. Sometimes it might be an inducement. Sometimes it might just be an inducement that price will respect and ignore your order block. So I'm really glad I was able to share this with you. Do well to backtest this on your chart, guys. Don't take it as me just capping or telling you what is not true. Go back on your chart, apply this thing you've learned. All right, and I would love to hear your feedbacks in the comment section or on WhatsApp. So if you trade boom and crash, you trade currencies, do well to join the Telegram channel. The link is going to be in the bio, and also do well to drop me a message on WhatsApp. The link is also going to be in the bio. All right, don't forget to hit the subscribe button and don't forget to turn on the notification bell. It's King. I'm signing out. I'll see you in my next class. Bye.